Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Truth Train here on the internet. I'm sitting here with Dex Carrington. We're obviously orchestrating this train. You can Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
You can direct a train.
Wow.
Anyway, yes. So this is the annual sanity checkup. People are wandering aimlessly around in the world.
Yeah.
They don't know what's happening.
It's the weekly sanity checkup.
Should I get help?
Yeah.
And then they listen to this podcast, and then yes, I actually have a couple of months left with sanity before I run out.
That's right.
Or I need a refill.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. But this is the watering hole of sanity.
Yeah, the epicenter.
Epicenter.
And all people, like camels, are drawn to a mirage. Come to this podcast.
But are they? Camels are drawn to a mirage?
Fine. A watering hole. But
aren't people like? Isn't that the thing because of the heat in the desert? So it like kind of becomes like blurry. It looks like water.
It does
because it's so hot and
right.
the air is like being wavy.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, no, it's water over there, and they run, and it's like, no, it's just more desert.
My reference point is that in a cartoon, right, when Donald Duck and like Scrooge McDuck and like the nephews are out on an adventure and they're on camels, if the camel sees a mirage, he will run from the ducks. And I mean, I don't know what better evidence there is for camels believing mirages are real.
Well, they got to believe something.
That's right.
There's something they believe.
Everyone believes in something.
That's true.
We believe in baked goods and sanity.
We trust only in hard currency and pastries.
Bitcoin and cinnamon buns.
That's true. And you actually brought something to the studio here today.
That's right. That's right. Listen. Last time we spoke about cinnamon buns, I mentioned that I was in a family situation, okay? I left the international water oil tanker to go to a family thing.
Yeah.
Right.
In a different tanker.
My family.
You're only moving international waters.
In this new dystopian water world, my family lives on a different tanker.
Exactly.
So I took the chopper to the other tanker.
Yeah.
And my mom was making cinnamon buns. And look, I just happened to mention not happy with the filling. So she said, fine, I'll make mine with my filling. You make another one with your filling. Then we'll let the people decide.
Oh, how democratic.
The votes are in, but you are best known for your blog about cinnamon buns.
I don't want to brag, but I have extensive know-how about the cinnamon world.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you've dated women because of their stance towards cinnamon buns.
I used to date a woman who her uncle was this is a true story. He was the most famous baker in that country. He was like, he changed the cinnamon, how it was made. He made it into like a knot, right? When people just made like a snail thing, like losers.
Right.
And she made those cinnabuns, and I gained a lot of kilos, I'll be honest with you. But my God, was it worth it.
Right.
And she didn't seem to mind either. She was happy to feed me these, and I ate until I couldn't move.
You're probably not the first one she fed who just got fatter and
Expanded.
fatter and fatter, and then she finds a new skinny one and does the same.
Yeah, she's a feeder.
That's what she is.
Right. But anyway, so and then that kind of tickled my fancy a little bit. So I started then doing research on the cinnamon, comparing that to the ones she made.
Right.
And then, of course, I'm not like, oh, nobody made cinnamon. Like, she made great cinnamons. I mean, probably the best. There's different categories within the cinnamon. That's what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. There's different categories. You got small cinnamons, you got big cinnamons. Like, what are you doing? What's going on? Mm-hmm. Right? Somebody's hiding on the inside. Somebody's hiding it, putting it in outside and inside. Is it too much? Is it too little? There's a balancing act with the Cinnabon.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. So anyway,
it's a scene, man. Like on the internet, you can actually see people before they go in the oven, they put heavy cream into the baking dish, and that gets absorbed into the buns.
Yeah.
Other people do filling on top. There's a glaze situation.
There's a whole thing. People think it's a one thing. It's a big thing.
It's a big thing.
Huge, various sorts of cinnamons out there.
Right.
For you to taste, and so I know what I'm talking about.
That's great. So I'd just like to back you up one more time on that. Is that when I was addicted to drugs earlier in my career, drug career, put it that way, when there was there weren't dating apps, but there were dating sites, and I would go on the dating sites, and then I would write a generic like, "Hey, how's it going? You know, you look great, blah blah blah," and I'd send that out to 100 women. I'd probably get a response from 20, and they would say, "Hey, how's it going? How are you doing these days?" And I'd say, "Well, you know, my back really hurts. How about you? Have you had an injury in the past 6 months that has required medication?" And then maybe 4 of them would reply, "Yes, I actually have some medication lying around from the doctor that I don't need anymore." And I said, "Wow, that's crazy. We should go on a date."
Yeah,
and
bring the pills.
Well, no, I'd maneuver my way to end up at their place, suddenly have a back pain attack. And then they would say, "You know, I still have these pills." And I'd be like, "What? What are these?" You know, and they'd give me all of them, and then that'd be a huge score for me.
So you didn't really have any back pain?
I did.
You did?
I did, but I mean, I loved the back pain because that was my ticket into the pills.
Yeah, so I was right all along. Okay, great.
But all I'm saying is, like, it's one thing with narcotics because they're so addictive, but I feel like you have kind of the same relationship with cinnamon buns. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
You've torn down.
Yeah, I date women. Like, hey, have you had any injuries lately? Yeah, I have a lot.
Hey,
I'm eating my heart out.
No, I was like, "Hey, have you mixed any yeast-based foundational doughs that require cinnamon lately?"
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, my dad's a baker. He's really famous for the nuts.
Really?
Really?
I didn't know.
I'll gladly come to Afghanistan.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Anyway, let's go into this.
Let's do it. So basically, the one of these is the one my mom made with the less filling, and the other one is the one I made, which she categorized as excessive filling. Okay.
Right. Well, it's pretty easy to see which one is yours.
Okay, fine, but just
I think so. This is your mother's, I think.
Okay, go ahead. Talk me through it.
First of all, when the cinnamon is hot, that's good. I mean, that's hard to screw up.
Right.
It's good. You can eat it. That's what I'm trying to say. You can eat a cinnamon that is hot, even though if the filling is not, up to scratch.
These are both the same dough. So I feel the most imperative thing to talk about here is the filling ratio. Because filling is 2 elements, sugar, cinnamon, and butter on the other hand. You can't have a dry bun with too much sugar. You can't have, like too much butter either, So, take in the fluffiness, take in the elements, I mean,
the dough is good.
I mean, it's a great dough.
Good dough.
No one is arguing about the dough. There are no international political debates about the dough. It's all about the filling. I feel this one, it's more light. You could maybe eat 4 or 5 without getting nauseous, right? But I mean, it's kind of an insult to the filling. It's a filling insult bun.
You know the bakery we've gone to on this tanker.
Right.
The cinnamon is kind of, if you lift it up, it kind of tears itself apart.
Right.
So, of course, this is yours because it's like, it's perverse. It's perverse.
It is. It is. I mean, the guy who made that, what would you say about him?
What I would say, if I knew it, if this wasn't you, I would say this is a guy who's been running from the law since he was born, baking his way around on the road.
His contempt for authority is baked into the bun.
It's baked in.
But I mean, isn't that a beautiful ratio of filling to bun?
Is it only sugar and cinnamon?
Yes, but it's brown sugar because that caramelizes. The other one is totally amateur, normal table sugar. I mean, what the hell is that about?
I notice a difference in the sugar.
Right? Man. Oh, man. Okay, so anyway, you take that in. And listen, I'm standing there. I took a bunch of butter, and I took, like, an American recipe amount of brown sugar and cinnamon. I mixed it all together.
Did you use brown sugar, though?
Yes. For the American ones, yes. Anyway, so I put all this out on the dough. Wasn't satisfied. I got a cheese slicer, and I started slicing the butter. I put a layer of that on. Then I got out the actual brown sugar thing. I just started like just sporadically pumping the rest of it out. Then I put more cinnamon on. Was concerned about how little cinnamon I had left. Went to the store, okay, mid-filling session. Got more cinnamon, and then put that cinnamon on until my family intervened and said, "You have to stop now."
Yeah, they took their hands. Stop,
yes.
son. Stop.
Yeah,
we love you.
But I feel like, that's when you're doing great things. When people stop you. The normal people, okay, are concerned. So anyway, tell me. Give me your analysis of these buns.
I would agree. Yeah, when your family intervenes and tries to stop you with a thing in your hand, that's when you know you're up to good things.
That's when you know you're doing like committing greatness. Committing greatness.
Here's my honest answer.
Yes.
Both of them were hot. 1 point.
Temperature hot.
Yes, good.
Not hot like a Swedish bikini model.
No. Hot in temperature. Your mother ones, they were the filling. I mean, she's a bit scringy on the filling.
They were conservative.
Very. But I would eat it if it was offered.
Right.
Hey, these are fresh. I would eat them. You can't go wrong. As long as it's hot, it's cinnamon, sugar, I'm on board. Yours were obviously better in a huge way. But I would say this. I noticed the brown sugar. It has a slightly different taste than the white sugar.
Right.
And this is not a racist statement here.
I mean, it's a little, but not a lot.
But I think white is better than brown sugar.
Right? Right?
Okay?
Yeah.
So I would prefer, if I would choose this recipe of yours or direct your operation, it would be white sugar.
The white sugar melts out. I don't think you actually understand the gravity of what you're talking about.
But here's the thing I learned from my cinnamon lady.
Right.
I mean, again, this is years ago.
Right.
I mean, these are tales from the past, past life,
From your rock and roll life.
rock and roll life. Yeah. Anyway, what she did that I found quite fascinating is that she put butter in a pan. She melted the butter, and not any butter. I mean, like fat farmer butter, right? Just like
Farmer approved butter.
like a farmer made this, in his bathtub.
Unlike all the other butter, which is just, there are no bathtubs involved.
Exactly. And
That's how you know it's nonsense.
and then she put sugar and cinnamon into the pan.
Dear Lord.
And then she stirred it up.
So it caramelized.
No, so the sugar and the cinnamon and the butter just became one soup.
A syrup, you mean?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And then she poured it over the dough, like a square dough.
Right.
And then she cut it into such a different, an angle. I was like, this is crazy, woman. What are you doing? How dare you do this?
Right. The audacity.
You could be arrested.
Yeah.
And then what you're saying? Well, then the sugar runs out of the cinnamon. Well, the sugar is already in the butter and everything, so it's just like one gooey thing. And then you put it in the pan. Every bun is kind of squeezed together,
right.
So it has nowhere to hide.
Can't escape. It's been pre-gooed.
Pre-gooed.
Wow.
So that's what she did.
Wow.
And I couldn't dump her.
Wow.
I couldn't dump her.
You're still together now.
Yes.
Man, that's such a great idea. You make a syrup out of it.
You make a syrup.
It's so fearless. I just remember one time you insisted we go see Indiana Jones. And I said, great, but we got to test this cinnamon bun. And you tested this cinnamon bun, and you were silent for 5 minutes. And then you looked at me and you said, these are crimes against humanity.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're sitting at the Nuremberg trials and you're looking at the footage, you get that feeling like this is so wrong. Like this is how what are we as a species? And you're rethinking everything about the human existence. Yeah. If a cinnamon bun doesn't do that to you, is it even pastry?
That is correct. What is it?
Yeah.
You know?
What are you even doing?
Yeah.
If I'm not, you know what I mean? If I'm not thinking about like Joseph Goebbels
Right.
during a cinnamon type, sitting.
Cinnamon type sitting.
A cinnamon bun experience.
Right.
I call it a cinnamon type sitting. Oh man, the
And by the way, you know that the last episode we made was called something about a cinnamon.
I think so, but that's why I had to bring in the evidence.
Right.
Because you said at one point, like, oh, you're screaming at the ocean because your mom put too little filling, but now you've tasted it, you would scream at the ocean too.
I understand. I understand you're screaming now.
Yes. And that's all I wanted. I just wanted to be understood.
So a woman of mine back in the days made Cinnabons, and of course we're not together anymore. But let's talk about women for a second.
Yes.
Because there's something on Instagram, something called Intels. It sounds like incels, but it's Intels.
Right.
It's like a media news site, source for useful business and tech entertainment.
Right.
Who knows? But anyway, they had a piece. They had a piece on an interesting topic.
Right.
That we both saw.
Mm-hmm.
1 in 3 girls are mentally insane, study shows.
Nice.
Well, I don't know if that's nice, but so let's see what they. Let's not conclude based on a headline,
Right.
because that's what idiots do.
That's true.
Let's use our own minds here.
Yeah.
A new report from the CDC reveals a disturbing trend. 1 in 3 teenage girls in the U.S. reported experiencing serious mental health struggles in 2023.
I love how a mental health struggle is equivalent to being mentally insane.
Yes.
It's like 1 in 3 girls are criminally insane.
Like let's say you're depressed.
Yeah.
She's insane.
Criminally insane.
Criminally insane.
Yeah.
Rates of depression, anxiety. Having anxiety is insane.
Right.
Depression, anxiety, and self-harm have hit record highs, driven largely by social media, bullying, and lack of support. Experts say Gen Z girls are facing unprecedented emotional pressure. Constant exposure to unrealistic beauty standards, online harassment, and academic burnout are fueling the crisis. Is it society that is failing these girls, or are we just now talking about what's been ignored for decades?
Right.
And the source is CDC Youth Risk Behavior Survey. So, yes, the headline is misleading, I would say.
Is it?
1 in 3 girls are mentally insane.
Yeah.
And let's just like... and of course, I mean, as soon as you have articles like this, there are always comments. The people comment on them.
Yes.
Right? And then, of course, what are the first comments? Well, here's one. Other 2 aren't diagnosed yet. Is this really news?
Oh, wow.
Only 1 in 3? That is, I mean, people are so mean.
Wow.
They're really mean.
It's brilliant.
So finding a decent one is almost impossible.
Right.
Yeah. So this is the world we live in now.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking men are no stranger to suicide, like everyone's on the gravy train of insanity.
Every man knows this.
What's crazy? It's like if you freebase crystal meth, right? Which all of us love to do from time to time. But if you do that for 2 straight weeks and you don't sleep for 2 weeks, and then suddenly you get admitted to a psych ward because you're psychotic from lack of sleep, the first thing they say to you is, you got to stop taking the crystal meth. But if you get an ADHD diagnosis and you take crystal meth in pill form from the pharmaceutical industry and don't sleep and go insane, Now the pill has merely revealed an underlying problem. So the thing is, I don't think that that's far off when you think about 1 in 4 adults are on psychiatric drugs. You know what I mean? Like my experience with psychiatric drugs is that they're, you know, quite like the worst thing on planet Earth, you know? And just, it's so annoying. You know what really bothers me? I mean, there's a lot of things that really bother, but this one is just, every human brain loves narcotics. If you inject someone with morphine, I mean, no one's going to go like, well, this is terrible. It's the best ever. Like, you get like an orgasm that starts in your stomach and just like, blah, it's just expanding. Like, I mean, it's bigger than you. It's like an explosion. It's like Krakatoa of endorphins and dopamine. It's just, so good. Anyway, people love it. So the idea of sitting there is like, I actually have ADHD. I'm super unique that a narcotic makes me feel good. I mean, the anger. I mean, I'm an angry guy already.
You are?
I mean, you would never think it.
You're angry.
You would never believe it. I know. But that's actually one of the few things that makes it worse.
You're angry?
I was just thinking about, you told me about a friend of yours who admitted that I have ADHD and I actually take medication now. I was thinking about him the other day while I was driving. I had to pull over to the side of the road because I had breathing problems because I hated him so much.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, I'm in a good place, you know?
People should follow your advice.
They should. They should.
You're obviously a very capable person of handing out advice.
I'm doing great things.
But let's talk about insanity.
Right.
Because I actually don't know what you're talking about. To be honest, I don't know. I was just looking at your face and your mouth moved.
I can't believe it. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't drive a car because I hated your friend so much. I mean, I know him too, but it's just the idea. I met this girl on the bus. Look, we're going to get into this. But I met a girl on the bus, and she goes, I hadn't seen her in 17 years. I go, how you doing? She's like, oh my God, it's amazing. I finally figured out I had ADHD for the past 32 years. And I was like, okay, stay calm. You know what I mean? So much aggression in my head. Like, I can't take this. Because the DSM is fictional, in my opinion. Anyway, so, I mean, suffering is not, but the diagnoses are, and the drugs are terrible. Anyway, then she looks at me and she goes, you know you have an ADHD diagnosis too. And that's when I was just...
But didn't you tell me many years ago that you had that?
Yeah, I believed it too.
You believed it.
I was like them.
Because you don't have it.
Oh, no. I mean, you can believe it all you want until you wake up in rehab.
And then you don't have it?
Well, then you're just a drug addict.
Right.
So how are you going to have it now? Because if you wanted to save your life, you can't take amphetamine anymore.
But if a person becomes, but I'm asking, I don't know.
Right.
I'm an asking person here.
Yeah.
Okay.
On this oil tanker.
On this tanker, I'm the one who asks the questions.
That's right.
So if a person has ADHD and then takes the medicine, they call it.
Right.
Let's call it drugs.
Sure.
They feel better.
Uh-huh.
They feel they can concentrate. They feel that they can go to the store and they can remember things.
Right.
They say it helps them.
Mm-hmm.
Would you then recommend them not to do that?
If you talk to every single drug addict, they always will say the same thing. Like, oh my God, I feel like my life began when I took my drug of choice.
Right.
Which is what every ADHD person says too. So it's like, it's great. Of course, narcotics are phenomenal. Of course you can concentrate. Of course you feel better. Your whole life changes. I mean, that's what drugs are. I mean, that's why do you think there's drug addicts? People love, like, ADHD medication is just crystal meth. I mean, there are people who leave their families, just,
Back
you know.
to the question.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, that drug is so good that people abandon their children, abandon their family, lose their jobs, become homeless, and sit on the street injecting it. And then your friends go like, I'm actually super unique because I like it. What do you mean? You don't even, like it. People love it so much. They're dying left and right.
But
right.
Back to the question.
Right, which is?
Do you remember?
It was, how fictional is ADHD?
No.
Okay. People.
You should really have some medication.
People feel better.
You should be medicated, strong, like heavily medicated.
Right. People feel better.
If people feel better
yeah.
by taking it, they feel, oh, wow, I can finally think clearly.
Right.
I can finish my studies. I can have a job. I can make love to my wife and my mistress.
Yeah.
All those things.
That was good. That was not bad.
Thank you.
That was not bad.
So what, what do you recommend that person to do?
Oh, no. I mean, keep doing what you're doing. I mean, nobody loves narcotics more than me. I mean, they almost killed me. So, all I'm saying is don't pretend you have ADHD. Just say I love meth. Just say I love meth.
So you're saying, again, I'm asking.
Right.
I'm asking. I don't know anything about this.
Right.
You're the doctor in this program.
I am the one with the fictional medical license.
You're the one who's handing out, prescriptions and stuff.
Thank God for that.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Are you claiming that ADHD does not exist?
It was invented by 6 psychiatrists in the DSM-3.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just invented. I mean, there's no
DSM what?
The DSM, the Diagnostical Statistical Manual, which is what psychiatrists use to give you pills.
Is it American?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
But I mean, it's just 5 psychiatrists who invented it. Anyone?
Yeah, but all these universities around the world, in Australia, Japan, Austria, England, France, Spain, Middle East, Russia, Africa,
right,
Brazil.
Yeah.
Don't you think that all these countries have they just bought 5 psychiatrists' paper and oh, this exists now?
Yes.
And they have not tried to disprove it or anything. Like nobody's forgone. Like they've tried to test the hypothesis in a way or whatever.
The reality is that there's suffering, and then the only drugs that work are narcotics. So there's suffering.
Okay, so
and there's narcotics.
you're saying that they're suffering.
Yeah.
So not thinking clearly and being all over the place.
Yeah,
that is real.
The suffering is real, but you can't. There is no test for that illness. I mean, it's the guy who wrote the DSM-3, the main psychiatrist. If you go on YouTube and you look at something called Origins of the DSM with Dr. Davies, he said we really overshot it with ADHD, and I regret creating an amphetamine epidemic in children in the 80s.
Right.
And then your friends going I feel better because I'm special. It's just look. Everyone loves amphetamine. What we have now is just more and more people just loving amphetamine. Not a whole bunch of people I'm finally diagnosed.
Yeah, but okay, but here's the thing. Because I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I'm not saying you're right either. I'm just saying how could I? I don't know. But my question is, people who have this friend that I have, he's almost 50. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not 50. He's an older. He's
It's a little bit older than us.
He's up there.
Yeah.
And he's always had a head that never shut up. He'd never ever just like this. He was and then when he took that, he went to this what do you call it? Explore the thing, or they did tests on him. He had to do cognitive tests to see if he had ADHD.
Right.
And then they said, yes, you are. And then they have to figure out the dosage, and they kind of had to okay, you're smiling, but that's what they did. I'm just reporting from the field here.
You're reporting. Yeah.
So, and he said when he started taking the medicine, he said that it was the first time he ever had a head that was functioning.
Yeah.
He always felt like he. So what is that then?
It's the report of every drug addict ever when they first start taking their drug.
Forget about that.
Why? How can we forget about that?
We haven't come to that yet.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm saying, what is that?
Because amphetamines are phenomenal.
Shh. No, it's not what I'm saying. What is that? Your brain is not working. Your head is everywhere. This is the first time I'm having a quiet head. What is that noise? What is it? Is that not a disease? That's not ADHD? It's made up? What is that noise then?
I don't know. I had it. Cocaine took it away from me.
Right, but you don't have it anymore?
No, because I stopped taking everything.
Yeah, but he never took anything.
You drank a lot.
You did drink a lot.
And drinking a lot will give it to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Drinking a lot will give you ADHD?
Will give you the voice.
Give you the voice? Okay. I don't.
Are
you the real doctor?
I'm the one with the fictional medical degree.
Are you the real fake doctor here?
I'm the one with the fictional medical degree.
So you're saying that so he drank a lot, but what about children that didn't drink as much?
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of wacky, crazy kids like can't learn to read or write or anything, and then they give them medicine, and then they learn to read, and then they learn to do the numbers. Are they also? Is that because of alcohol and when they were 4 years old?
There's a it is. It's because of their hidden alcohol problems that their parents didn't know about.
Right.
Oh man, no. All I'm saying is people should ask more questions about the diagnoses.
Hey, I agree with the
questions.
questions.
They should ask more questions
I
about the
agree.
drugs and the cognitive tests I did to get ADHD were just like, do you want amphetamine or not? That was the test. Yeah?
Yes, no.
Yes, no, basically.
Okay.
And it was just like, you understand very quickly because what they do is all I had to do was there was a bunch of numbers coming up, and then every now and then there was an X. And when there was an X, I had to hit a space bar. And then I just did that. And then he gave me amphetamine, and then I had to do it again. And because I was able to hit the space bar faster, he goes, you have ADHD.
Not that you improved in the game, just like now that...
No, but you obviously improve in the game because you've done it once before.
Yeah,
and you do it again, 20 minutes later. But for me, the greatest mistake of my entire life was going to a doctor and agreeing to have a diagnosis. And what's funny is when you come in there and they go, we're just here to help you, and it's just so great, and the medicine is harmless, and everything's perfect, and totally normal people, sane people get these diagnoses and get a better life. When the medicine makes you insane, they go, hey, listen, you're a crazy psychiatric patient. You're mentally insane. 1 in 3 women are mentally insane, Yeah. So don't come here telling us what to do. And now suddenly you're a psych patient when the thing turns against you.
Yeah. Well, this is truth on a conveyor belt right now.
That's exactly what it is. The conveyor belt of truth. A lot of people think it's a train, but it's a way better metaphor.
Yeah, but it's a conveyor belt on a train.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the bigger question to you. All that aside, that's all based on my personal experience. And look,
for your fake doctorate degree.
Well,
sure.
It seems very important for people to have this ADHD diagnosis. So I'm not interested in an argument with anyone, but it almost killed me accepting an ADHD diagnosis. And once I decided I didn't have it, which is somehow magically possible with all psychiatric diagnoses, unlike with cancer, then my life became amazing. However, let me ask you.
Amazing?
Well,
it became amazing?
It became amazing.
Right.
I mean, now I'm online arguing with people I don't know. I got great stuff going on.
That's great.
Yeah, and I'm, screaming at the ocean because of cinnamon bun filling.
Yes, it's great times now.
This is the golden age.
Golden age.
Here's my question to you. Why do you think 1 in 3 women are mentally insane?
Why do I think so? Well, they did allude to it a little bit, didn't they? Like they said, they threw out a lot of like different
it was like
theories.
fashion and test scores, wasn't it?
Well, the thing they wrote here was, is it because exposure to unrealistic beauty standards? I think that's a big one. I think, the way people should look now, and like, I look at all these hot women, and guys too. They look at all these like, I also want to have a Russian model as a wife, who only like are beautiful in Bali. They can look at me and my clothes and my fantastic life, flying around for free with rich millionaires flying me in for no particular reason at all. And then online harassment, that's a big one.
For men or women?
Yeah, both. But, women, you fucking bitch, and, harassment. But also, just like people bullying, academic burnout. I mean, sure, maybe. I don't know. But I wouldn't, like the unrealistic beauty standards that are now. I think that's a big one, I think. I think that's a big one. And
I mean, this is a pro cinnamon bun podcast, so we wouldn't know anything about that.
We don't know.
We don't know about unrealistic beauty standards.
But what I would say is that we here in this podcast,
right?
We support women, and we help them to not be mentally insane.
We send them hot sauce.
We send them hot sauce.
In Australia.
We sent a criminally insane person in Australia some hot sauce.
We did.
Let me just rephrase that for a second. She was not insane until she got the hot sauce.
That's right.
Now she's insane, but it has helped her. Because finally, when she took that hot sauce, Lloyd and Melon, fermented hot sauce,
Yeah.
she couldn't concentrate. She couldn't read. She couldn't write. She was living with wolves or whatever, dingoes in the outback in Australia.
Dingoes, yeah.
But then she put some hot sauce on some meat her wolf friend brought back from hunting.
Yeah.
She put some hot sauce on it. And she finally felt like a person. She applied for a job, is now running a huge computer company.
Yeah. Lloyd and Melon.
Lloyd and Melon.
Put some hot sauce on a taco with your imaginary friend.
Yeah. Are you eating with wolves?
Yeah.
Well, kiss those wolves goodbye
Yeah.
with Lloyd and Melon. Get a job and get into a restaurant and put some Lloyd and Melon on it.
Yeah.
The chef will be blown away. Literally.
Yeah. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if I got a bunch of death threats for claiming that I don't respect ADHD. People love their ADHD. I've never seen people I think people like their ADHD diagnosis more than their family.
Hey, listen, I knew a guy. I kind of know him still. What's left of him.
Right.
But he loved his problems.
Man.
Oh my God, he loved his problems.
What a loser.
What? What do you think I'm talking about you?
Huh?
What?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying, a guy I knew.
Yeah.
Or there's not much left of him.
Right.
Because he's completely insane.
Right.
He's bumbling and all sorts of nonsense.
Right.
He loved his pain and he loved his solutions.
Right.
Oh my God, did he ever love it?
Yeah.
And if it wasn't this, it was something else.
Yeah.
And always his plan was to go back on stage for a while.
Right.
But he postponed it continuously. Oh, my back, my nervous brain.
Right.
It was all sorts of stuff.
Man, what an idiot.
He was just looking for trouble. He was like, "Do you want to go on stage?" He was like, I'm hurting there. I'm hurting there."
Yeah.
I think, yeah, but that doesn't matter. There's
Right.
a guy on tonight. There's a guy in a wheelchair who survived a bombing attack on his house yesterday. Yeah, but I haven't really. I don't have a pen.
Well, I mean, what you're talking about, if you're talking about me, is technically impossible because 1 in 3 women are insane and no men, because otherwise it would say so in the study.
Absolutely.
Men don't actually ever become insane. They just kill themselves or not.
Right.
Right. There's no actual period of anything else, I think.
I would agree with that one.
Yeah, that's it's just science.
You've probably heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yes.
If not, it's when a person with low competence is convinced they're doing everything right simply because they lack the knowledge to recognize their own mistakes. That's interesting, right?
It's very interesting.
And this has nothing to do with you.
No.
Because, I mean, you recognize your own mistakes.
I am probably the worst person ever. And I would also like to say, just for the record,
I mean, does that include, Stalin and Mao?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. If anyone listens to what I'm saying and they're saying, like, oh, I'm going to write him a message and tell him just whatever terrible thing you have to say, I already agree.
Yeah.
So don't even worry about it. You know?
Yeah, you don't have to complain to him.
No, you can.
He knows.
I know. You can never beat my own self-loathing. I'm way ahead of you, buddy. That's the answer to everything.
100%.
Yeah.
So
Read the actual...
this effect was described by psychologists David Dunning and Justin Kruger after a real incident in 1995. An American man named MacArthur Wheeler robbed 2 banks after rubbing lemon juice on his face. He truly believed it would make him invincible to security cameras.
invisible.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yes, that's important. Invincible.
Invincibility juice.
Invisible to security cameras, like invisible ink. At home, he even took a Polaroid selfie, and when the photo didn't develop properly, he assumed the plan worked. So he did one test, Oh yeah, and they're like, oh, this is the way to go.
Yeah.
He was arrested just a few hours later, easily identified from surveillance footage. Wheeler was generally confused, but I was wearing lemon juice.
Yeah.
Unintentionally, the robber made a legendary contribution to psychology, thanks to his own stupidity.
But I was wearing the juice.
Yeah, out in handcuffs.
Yeah.
But I was wearing the juice.
I love that. He's being taken by, I was wearing the juice.
But that's so interesting how, like, why wouldn't you, like, test that more? You took just a picture? And how did you come to that conclusion?
I just remember when I was a kid and I watched a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, I assumed I could fight. So I went into the street and I picked a fight and I lost. And that's when I sort of woke up to reality. But there was that moment of half an hour where I assumed I was Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Right.
Right? And so because I had never fought anyone, I just assumed. But I think most people don't go out trying to fight people in their neighborhood, sadly. And so they walk around delusional for the rest of their life.
So here's what I would do if I was this guy and I robbed 2 banks. But before I go rob anything, I would put lemon juice on my face. If I was convinced that's the thing, I would test it. I would then go into like a jeweler and then say, hey, listen, I'm looking for a watch, but do you see me on the security camera? Did you see my face there? Because I have some makeup. I've done something with my face, and somebody's told me that they can't see me on the security camera. Can you just check if you can see me? Like, yeah, you're right there. Really? Okay, and then I would buy a surveillance camera, or I would go to a shop with a friend and then put some lemon juice on your face. I want to see. Yeah, I can see you. Damn, it doesn't work.
Right.
And I wouldn't rob the banks.
Yeah.
Because of the lemon juice.
I mean, you're assuming this guy's guzzling sanity sauce,
Well, he's not drinking the loin and melon sauce, that's for sure.
You know what? I'm sorry, just before we forget, I think
if you put Lloyd and melon on your face, you can rob banks.
You absolutely can.
You can.
But I'm just saying, the next seasonal sauce they make should be sanity sauce.
Sanity sauce.
Christmas sanity sauce.
Christmas sanity.
How great would that be?
I mean, that would be something.
Yeah. I don't think there is a sanity sauce on the market.
Well, there isn't a hot sanity sauce.
Well, I'm just saying, we think of sauces as like thick, thin, hot, not hot. Acidic,
gravy,
not acidic.
Yeah.
But where's the sane, insane sauce?
Yeah. There's no sane or insane. I'm just saying, I think we have something to learn here. We have something to learn.
Right.
We have something to learn from this guy who was convinced too early. Because we're not pro robbing banks.
Not yet.
In this podcast.
We haven't been convinced.
We haven't heard the convincing arguments.
We're always inviting new guests.
Always. Yeah. We're not convinced robbing banks are the solution.
Yet. Yeah.
Yet. But what we would say, if you're going to do that, which we absolutely do not condone.
No.
I would try something else than a citrus fruit as a cover.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that it's not good for your skin either, I would imagine. Putting lemon juice on your face? Like, how does that even work? I mean, doesn't that get into your eyes? Doesn't it sting a bit? You get sweaty? I would imagine you get sweaty. But obviously, maybe not, because he rubbed 2 banks. Didn't it sting a little bit in his eyes?
Probably. But I think the most important take-home point from this is that everything you think you're great at, you're terrible at.
And what is he bad at? He did rob them. So he did do that.
Yeah, but he didn't get away with it.
And that's the most important thing, I think.
Especially with crime.
Especially with crime.
Yeah, is getting away with it.
Because if you rob a bank, because I actually, my soccer trainer, soccer coach. He worked in a bank.
Right.
And I said, my dream is to rob a bank. How should I rob a bank? And he said, hey, everyone can rob a bank. Getting away, that's the problem.
That's it.
So for that reason, you shouldn't.
That's it.
But there was this big bank robbery in Ireland 20 years ago. They got like $130 million or whatever from the bank. They went home to the banker's home on a Friday. They went to the bank, emptied it all weekend. They just emptied the bank. And then on Monday, they found the bank boss in the bank, like just tied up. And they had like from Friday until Monday to get away. And they did. They never figured out who it was.
Really?
Yeah.
See, now that's a robbery.
And there's these guys in Sweden who robbed the bank with a chopper. To get to the chopper. And then they said that these are probably like special forces, ex-Russian, who knows? Nobody knows. It's so easy to say Russian nowadays, but
everyone's throwing around Russian.
Everybody's throwing it around. But
Russian dressing, Russian bank robber,
all that stuff.
Yeah, Russian wife, like you said earlier.
Exactly.
Yeah. All the good things are Russian.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but they also got away, and they had a chopper. They then went through the roof, took the money, flew away, went to this forest, burned the helicopter, and they never saw them again.
Wow. Did you also hear about that guy called MacGruber or something who robbed a bank in the States? He jumped out of a plane midair with a parachute, an actual.
That was my idea.
Like a commercial plane, not his own plane.
Oh,
he actually opened up a commercial plane and jumped out, and no one ever saw him again. I think so, MacGruber, something like that.
But with money or?
Yeah, with $20 million.
Really?
Yeah.
How did he get past security with $20 million?
I mean, it was the 70s.
Yeah, they didn't check anything.
They didn't check anything.
Yeah, this was before crime.
I mean, no, I think the whole security check was just groovy, man,
Yeah, groovy.
If you look at that movie Blow, I mean, they were doing massive suitcases of cocaine at a time, like 160 kilos.
Yeah.
And they didn't even check. They're just like, hey, sweet suitcase, man.
Yeah.
Okay,
so because I remember if I was ever to rob a bank, I was to obtain a pilot license.
Right.
Do like a sea airplane kind of thing. And then fly towards the ocean, but jump out from the airplane, like by the coast where I have a boat. And then I dig down the money. I dig the money down, put like somewhere in the
bury it.
Yeah. I bury it down, and then I take the boat, and then if they catch me, hey, you were in that area, blah blah blah. It's like I don't. So they check the boat. There's no money. Like okay, maybe he dug it down. Like I'm a suspicious guy,
right?
And then they can't find the money. It's like and then it's like and then they wait, and then you wait for a long time.
How long?
10 years.
Where you sit in a cabin in the woods?
No, you go home and go to work.
All right.
What's wrong with you?
Of course. What was I thinking?
And then, 10 years, new people, the case is kind of cold. Who knows?
Right. New detectives.
And then you take a boat trip up there. You see if you're followed.
But usually in a case like that, though, there's like one guy who won't give up. Like he's at your door every week like, I'm watching you.
Yeah.
Don't think we're not watching.
But then you take your boat trip, you go there, and you go back. And you go there, and you go back. But you don't touch the money.
Right.
And then you do it a couple of times. Nothing to see here. And then you dig it up.
Right.
And then you put it in the boat.
Of course.
But you don't put it in the boat. You hang it under the boat with a rope, which you can cut.
Right.
If they suddenly would show up.
Because you're always prepared.
You're always prepared.
Right.
Right? And then so you always know where you are, right? So if you see the police, you just like cut the rope, and then like it goes down to the bottom. You know exactly the coordinates. You have your driver's license for that particular.
Got a lot of licenses for this.
You need a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't come to my climbing license.
A lot of certifications. 17.
Are you a certified bank robber?
Yeah, but you're also a certified therapist, you know, because you need to talk your way out of things. And
I mean, you have to be careful.
Yeah,
out there.
You know what I would do? I would start a sect, get a bunch of young, impressionable people, feed their narcissism, have them invade the bank. They give me the money, and then I call the cops on them. Mine's simpler.
No, but that excuse me, that could be. What? No, they would then turn you in.
No, but I would turn them in first. They're loyal to me. They're brainwashed.
Yeah, but they will lose their, like Charlie Manson girls, they lost faith after a while.
I mean, look, 2 years into this mission, you haven't even taken your 8th certification yet, and you're on your 3rd license. I mean, you haven't even started the robbing. Okay, I'm already reporting my sect to the cops.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that...
I mean, look, they're deranged. I'm going to say, look, all these brainwashed idiots think I'm a sect leader. I'm just a guy.
Okay, but where's the money then?
What my money?
No, the bank robbery money.
Oh, yeah.
You idiot.
No. They give that to me, and then I bury it on one of the properties I've bought with all their membership fees.
Yeah, but they would check. They would check every property.
No, but
they remember.
No. But it's through an LLC in the Bahamas. Mine's way less complex. You don't even have your real estate license.
I obviously I'm in the wrong here. Obviously,
you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to rob a bank.
So in conclusion, I would say this. Mm-hmm. My approach to bank robbery is a slow one, right? Because the problem every time is, not always, but sometimes people go too fast. They run out of they escape. Who left the country? Where is he? He's like, there's a lot of like, why did you leave the country? Just felt like it suddenly.
Yeah. People are so obsessed with you once you rob a bank.
Yeah, exactly.
It's annoying.
So, and also, you have to look at the money as like a pension fund more than like
more like a score.
Yeah, you hide the money. You dig it down in the forest. Nobody knows where it is. You know it's deep down. You already dug the hole before and then you land with your parachute. You dig it down. You put that like grass, the perfect like rounded, you put it over so like it looks like nobody has dug anything, right?
Yeah.
It looks like a clean, just grass, no problem here.
No problem. No problem grass.
No problem grass.
No problem with this grass.
Yeah. And then you have a boat, and then, you just like hang out, and then you go up and down and blah, blah, blah. And then people like kind of forget about it. Yeah, we never really solved that one. But nobody really died either. So it's kind of like, okay, the money's gone. It costs us more to investigate this than to do anything with it.
Yeah.
And the guy we have as a suspect, he's not going to do anything more if that was him.
Right.
So we kind of like just like leave it be, right? But yours is, it's complicated. You have to start a sect. People shouting your names and monks.
Yeah, but I actually, now that I've rethunk it a little bit.
Oh.
Because yours has too many certifications and licenses, So it's like, you need.
You have a boat license.
Yeah, but a boat license, diving license, climbing license, right? You're a certified mechanic, right? And then you also have a helicopter license,
parachute license.
You're also and imagine all the training hours, the jumping hours, tandem that you need to do before you even get that license, and that's before the airplane license. You also probably need a leather jacket like Indiana Jones to be able to just live that character.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to simplify mine.
Okay.
I start 2 sects. And the one sect goes to like kidnap someone from the royal family kind of thing. There's something massive that steals everyone's attention. Now no one cares about the bank. And then they go into the bank and it's easier for them. And then I'll claim to be the getaway driver because, the whatever God we worship has told me that that's my role. And they just dump that all into a van and then I take off with all the money. And then I drive into the forest, but unlike you, going back to work, I stay there. right? And I live there alone for 4 decades. Then I go back and spend the money, right? Like the Unabomber, except there's no manifesto and there's no contact with the government.
That's obviously a much simpler plan.
It's so much simpler. It's just me and my chickens, you know?
Yeah. People, thank you for listening. And of course, do not rob a bank.
No.
We're against it.
This is for educational purposes only.
Education.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you people?
That's right.
Like Google people like, hey, they're talking about bank robbery. That's not good. We're saying don't do it.
We're telling you what not to do.
We're telling you not to do it and also not what to do.
Right.
Okay, bye-bye.